Alright, this video is going to be about factoring trinomials. So we did learn in previous lessons about factoring things like this. If I have negative x to the third power plus 13x squared minus 40. So, 40x, excuse me. I can factor this by taking out the greatest common factor first, which is actually x. But we also learned that it's a convention in math to get the first thing to be positive, so I'm actually going to factor out a negative x, which means I'm going to divide every term here by negative x, and what will be left over would be positive x squared minus 13x, so all the signs change when you factor out a negative number, and then plus 40. And so we learned about factoring trinomials, so we took out this x in front. Now we're going to factor the remaining trinomial. So the negative x stays here, but we're going to factor this into two factors that make one product. So I just need to look at the numbers and think about what two numbers are going to add to negative 13 and multiply to 40. I just think right away about 5 and 8, because 5 and 8 multiply to 40, and negative 5 and negative 8 will add to make negative 13. So I'm going to do negative 5, x negative 5, and x negative 8, x minus 8. And we always check our work when we do these things, so we want to use the distributive property to see that it's true. So x times x is x squared, x times negative 8 is negative 8x, negative 5 times x is negative 5x, and then negative 5 times negative 8 is positive 40. And then if I combine my like terms in the center, I've got x squared minus 13x plus 40. So this is true. I factored this correctly, and so this actually would be my factored version. And so we also are going to talk about factoring out bigger things. So let's look at an example of what I mean by that. If I have e plus f times y squared minus 14y times e plus f plus 48 times f plus e. So when you look at this, it looks kind of messy, but you might notice that every single one of these terms has e plus f or f plus e. And so since everything has that, we can divide each term by that, or we can factor out e plus f. So e plus f, f plus e, same thing. We can take out the e plus f and put it outside. And now we're going to write down what's left over. So after I've divided by e plus f, I have y squared minus 14y plus 48. So now I have a regular trinomial that's pretty easy to factor. If I look at it, I think about two numbers that will add to negative 14 and multiply to 48. So thinking about the factors of 48, you have, let's see, 6 times 8. That comes to mind. 6 times 8, and then 6 plus 8 is 14, so that would work, right? So we would factor it. We still have the e plus f here. Don't forget about that guy. But now we're going to factor this into two factors. Sorry, I'm used to writing x. This is y. And so we have a negative 6 and a negative 8, because negative 6 and negative 8 will give you negative 14 and positive 48 if you multiply. So then we always check the work. We do y times y is y squared. Y times negative 8 is negative 8y. Negative 6 times y is negative 6y. And negative 6 times negative 8 is positive 48. If we combine the like terms in the center, we get the same thing we started with. So this actually works. Excuse me. Okay, let's do one more example that's like this one. A plus b times z squared plus 2z times b plus a minus 48 times a plus b. Again, it looks messy, but just like last time, we see that each one of these has the term a plus b. So I'm going to start by factoring out the term a plus b and putting it out in front. Then I write my remaining trinomial. So I have z squared plus 2z minus 48. So now I need to factor this trinomial. I need to still write down my a plus b, but I'm going to factor this, again, by thinking of two numbers that will add to 2 and multiply to negative 48. Let's see. Last time we did 6 times 8 is 48. Negative 6 times negative 8 is positive 48. So we need one of them to be negative in order to make negative 48. So I could try negative 8 or I could try negative 6. But since this middle term is positive, I'm going to take the bigger number and make it positive. So if I do z plus 8 and z minus 6, sometimes you have to do this by trial and error. If I distribute, I get z squared minus 6z plus 8z minus 48. And if I add the middle terms, I get positive 2z. So this does work. And so this is the factored form of that.